So our terrain has changed enough here that I decided it's worth getting one last video or another video, because I know that when I walk a little further ahead, we will lose this vista of the mountains. Once we're actually in them, we won't see them the same way. So let's go like this and see what that's like. It's pretty beautiful. I want to remember it for my own sake. It's really precious being in the mountains for a mountain guy. I was a mountains guy for 16 years. When Sandy and I were married for 10 years, I was the mountains guy. We would go 1 year, we would take a vacation, long vacation. She was off for the summers with her teaching, and I was in grad school. 1 year we would go to the mountains, and 1 year we would go to the ocean, which was her thing. So I spent 16 years in Asheville, North Carolina. There's a bunny that Magic missed. 16 years in Asheville being a mountains guy, but nowhere near enough because I didn't go. Some of the time I lived in the country. Some of the time I lived in beautiful country out in the mountains. But when I was living in the city, I had all these whiny little pathetic excuses about when I have a girlfriend, when I have a best buddy, when I have someone to do it with. Pathetic. For years I did not get to the mountains hardly at all. There were all these fabulous towns you could go to outside of Asheville for day trips, articles all over the place. I never went. And in my last year I visited a bunch of those towns. Silva, spectacular. My therapist called Silva Mayberry on acid because the mountains were so unbelievable there. Yeah, I did. I caught up on some of that. But now I've become more an ocean guy, even more than the mountains. But after a year of following the Gulf Coast, here I am thrust into the mountains, and I'm going to make the most of it. And have decided to not to go make a beeline to the peninsula, the Yucatan Peninsula, but as long as we're kind of on a straight line towards Mexico City and San Miguel de Allende, I hate even uttering these words because it's so hard for me to believe it's possible I would go to these places that have been mythical for me for so long. 15 years ago, I was going to move to Mexico, came within 2 weeks, I thought, of moving to Mexico. Maybe I never came close at all because it was just a dream. But that was going to be my first stop. It was going to be San Miguel de Allende in the mountains. And even people who lowball how much they compliment like these mountains or these beaches, people who don't know how to surrender to the extravagant beauty that's around us here, even those people will say, San Miguel, pretty great, pretty beautiful. So I remember commenting when I walked up here 10 days ago that look, we're in the mountains, there's still garbage everywhere, but bigger drop-offs. This road is obviously built up, and there's big drop-offs to the side that shows we're in the mountains. I don't know that I'll ever get around to spearheading the national Keep Mexico Beautiful campaign to get litter off the highways, but it does honestly still offend me in the middle of such beauty. The consciousness of this country has never been woken up. And I don't know how much the consciousness of the U.S. got woken up. Among many people it did. But for a lot of people it was just, they didn't want to get a ticket. or they didn't want their children yelling at them for littering. But what a difference. America's got some advantages. I'll say that. The U.S. has got some advantages. Convenience stores. No, I can't believe, slap my face for saying that. but I do miss the Stripes. I do miss the Stripes convenience stores and hot coffee in the morning. I'll never miss the Lowe's stores. And they are in Mexico. Lowe's, all those things are in the big cities in Mexico. But I will never. But mostly we'll be in places where we won't be seeing them. I bet they're not in San Miguel. So I will never miss the big box stores. I will only miss Walmart because it was my pantry and my closet, and it was so easy for me to get food and drink and clothing for free from Walmart. I'll miss it for that, but otherwise you can take all those big box stores and just leave me a few little convenience stores where I can get my coffee in the morning. No, I'm sure I will find local places where they serve better than spoonfuls of instant coffee. That's what they serve out here in their homes and at the store. Coffee, sure, we'll make you a cup of coffee here and get the jar of instant. Okay, bye.